You're listening to Solder and Soot, a NARSA idea podcast. I'm Bobby Duran.
I'm Nathan Ingrayo. How's it going, Bobby?
Second episode of season 6. I can't believe that. I know I say that all the time. It's just boggles my mind. I'm really excited for this episode because this is kind of a preview of who the host is for our 2026 spring conference, L&M Radiator. You'll know them as the manufacturers of MESABI radiators, and that's going to be April 29th and 30th. Give us some more details about that, Nate.
Yeah, I'm really excited about this one. There's been a lot of hard work put into this event, both on the side of L&M and on NARSA. It's going to be a fully immersive experience. L&M has a lot of great content lined up for us and a lot of great speakers from inside their organization. It's going to be focused on severe duty and extreme duty applications, what MESABI is known for. So it's going to be really cool. As Ryan will mention later in the podcast, that we're actually going to have opportunities for members to have hands-on experience with MESABI, where we're actually going to be tearing these cores down and getting ready for service. So really going to be an awesome opportunity to learn. Again, this is going to be on April 29th and 30th. So there's going to be a lot that members can benefit from and learn. Going to be a great experience. And with these kind of severe duty and heavy and extreme duty applications, it's a topic that it warrants more discussion, I believe, within our community and within our association. So really excited to bring this to our members. Registration is now open. Please visit our website, narsa-idea.org, to get signed up.
Yeah, I can't stress enough, Nate, that this is the hands-on aspect of this conference where we're going to be in the factory that makes the product and be able to, get your hands on the tools and how to service these things. This is going to be a real tech-friendly event. Bring your head tech, bring your guys, let them learn how to do this, and you'll just have another arrow in your quiver to be able to tackle jobs. So we're going to be talking with Ryan Daly on this podcast, who's going to kind of give us the rundown about L&M, about MESABI, and what to expect at this event.
That's right. Before we get started, we need to take some time to thank our sponsors. We want to thank Johnson Manufacturing for supporting this podcast. We also have a new partnership I wanted to let everybody know about with FedEx. This is a brand new partnership we have going on. It's fantastic rate discounts. FedEx is now our official transport provider of NARSA. We're really excited about it. More information can be found on our website to get signed up for those savings.
Awesome. And as usual, we also want to thank 4R Fasteners, our other sponsor, looking for top quality industrial fasteners that combine durability and precision. 4R Fasteners offers custom engineered solutions, competitive pricing, fast shipping on everything from hex cap screws to abrasives. Trust 4R Fasteners for all your fastening needs. 4rfasteners.com. I'm a customer. Definitely worth checking out. All right, let's check in with Ryan. How you doing, Ryan?
I'm doing well. I'm happy to be here. Thanks for having me on.
All right, Ryan, before we get into the meat of the podcast here, let's cover some basics. For people that aren't familiar with you, your company, can you tell us a little bit about your history, what services you offer, and what industries do you serve?
Yeah, so my name is Ryan Daly. I handle the central region for L&M Radiator. So I cover about 11 states surrounding Minnesota, so a lot of the Midwest. And I guess for people who aren't familiar with our company, we build heavy duty coolers that serve a bunch of industries. I think our roots are in mining. That's probably the vast majority of our business, but we also serve the power gen industry, agriculture, construction, basically anywhere that, they have really heavy duty applications where our radiators work well. So that's kind of what we do. We've been around for over 65 years, and we're based up here in Hibbing, Minnesota. So looking forward to having the spring conference up here and, maybe some people seeing northern Minnesota that haven't been here before.
I'm definitely looking forward to that, Ryan. I think one thing that I'd like to kind of clear up, and maybe you could help, is, as a radiator shop owner back in the day, MESABI was, that if you could explain what is MESABI as far as the name and versus L&M Radiator. That I think some people find confusing MESABI being, as I understand it, is a grommeted radiator construction. But then L&M, how do they fit into the role, and sort of kind of clear that up for us for people that may not know?
Yeah, no, I certainly get that question a lot. So Mesabi is more of the brand name for the coolers we build. L&M Radiator was is the name of the company founded by a couple of guys, Langer and Murray. So they're really one and the same. I think it would be easier if we just went by Mesabi. I think most people are more familiar with Mesabi. I think they're wondering like, well, what does L&M have to do with it? Are they a supplier or no? But they're really one and the same. L&M are really just our founders and owners back in the day, and we've stuck with that name. But like I said, Mesabi's sort of the name you'll see on the coolers. It's sort of the brand name of our grommeted design radiators, if that helps. Yeah, I know it can be a little confusing.
Right. Before I knew any better, I was like, well, is L&M the distributor of
Right.
MESABI products and they're the region? So I think it's always good to clear that up, that it's basically one and the same. And MESABI is kind of the brand name of this construction. You said you represent the product in 11 states. What does that look like, being a representative for this type of product, being kind of like a factory direct product?
That basically means I do a lot of traveling. Roughly every other week, I'm going to one of my areas here in the Midwest. Also going to a lot of expos and shows and trying to meet people from my states to sort of spread the word of Mesabi, meet new customers, find new projects, work with customers on a host of different issues, whether it be shipping, pricing, all those different things. Um, and really being product support more than anything. It's not like a traditional sales role where I'm going around in a truck and I have radiators on the back of it ready to sell them. No, it's more, it's a process. So I'm just trying to work with engineering teams, work with other companies so that we can find a solution for their cooling problems. And it could be anything. But I spend a lot of time at mine sites. So we're here in Hibbing, Minnesota, and the reason we're here and we were founded here is because of the iron ore mining. There's a lot of it, I think 80% of the domestic US steel and iron ore comes out of Minnesota. That's why we were founded here. That's why we're still here is to support these local mines. So that's a big part of my business as well is spending time at these mine sites, getting to know their workers, getting to know their needs, and finding really any way we can to help them.
Are you also doing, besides going to the mines and seeing kind of the product in action, are you also visiting OEM customers that say, hey, we have this need, we have this new product, and we'd like to consider Mesabi as a potential solution? Do you get involved at that level as well?
Yeah, I do. We have a separate OEM sales manager for our biggest customers, like Komatsu, Caterpillar, Liebherr, all those guys, Hitachi, and they're a big bulk of our business. I think more what I do is the aftermarket. But most customers start out as what we call an aftermarket customer. Once they reach a certain threshold or they order so many coolers a year, they kind of get moved to the OEM side. Um, so that's mainly what I do is work with the aftermarket and smaller customers, mine sites, things like that. And then we have a separate branch that deals with our larger customers, our OEMs.
Gotcha. That's interesting. Now, and being that this product is a little bit more unique and specialized, do you find that you're spending more of your time teaching about Mesabi than you do actually selling?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's one thing that's really, gets me excited about the spring conference is people get to see our products hand on, get to understand it a little bit better because it is really unique. Um, and I think is what makes it special, right? So a lot of people don't understand what a grommeted design means. They don't understand what a floating core is. They don't understand because it's just so different than your typical radiator, something you see in a car, small equipment, something like that. So yeah, a lot of it is building value and understanding because if you don't really understand the product, I think it's you know a lot of people might be turned off by the cost or other factors that come with our coolers. But once they understand that it's like you can pretty much buy it and forget it as long as you do the maintenance on it, that it's worth the value. And I think that's why we've really done so well in mining because they really can't have downtime. They really need to depend on the cooler. And that's kind of where we've made our mark. So yeah, a lot of it is, showing people our sample core, going over the design, making sure they really understand what it is, because it is such a, unique product, I think. Yeah, that's a great question, Nate.
We have some members that may have limited, like I had a shop in New Jersey, so we would encounter Masabi from time to time. Whereas if you're in the Midwest in a mining region, you're gonna encounter it a lot more. Just for sort of the sake of some of our listeners that may be from areas that may not always get Masabis or don't know about the opportunity, how do you identify one? What does it look like, and that sort of thing? If you can kind of give just an overview of the technology.
Yeah, so I think the biggest giveaway is, of course, going to be a big metal tag on it that says Masabi. To be honest though, a lot of times those are gone by the time it needs to be
Exactly.
repaired because it's been in service so long. But I think the biggest giveaway is just the individual style tubes. If you see a bunch of holes in the headers in the top and bottom tank, you see those rubber grommets, and you see those tubes that can be removed one by one, you're probably dealing with Masabi. And that's especially on our radiators. Of course, we do oil coolers, air-to-air coolers, but there's always going to be some sort of rubber grommet and individual style tube. So I think most people, even if they're not familiar with Masabi, will get one in their shop and say, okay, this is a little bit different, and they can probably identify it that way. So I think that's the biggest sign.
And if they do encounter one of these units in their shop, first time doing it, I've been in that situation. Can they call one of your reps to get the parts and maybe some technical guidance on how to handle something like this?
Yeah, absolutely. So, really, they're not very hard to work on. You just need a couple of simple hand tools that we sell, which is the tube tube removal tool, as well as the grommet tool. It's very simple once you get the hang of it. We also have videos on our website that walk you through how to do each product. So that's very helpful as well. And then we also have instruction manuals on our website that basically anyone can access. So it's actually pretty simple once you kind of get the hang of it. And there's some little tips and tricks too. If people can reach out to me, our customer service team, or because over time sometimes the tubes and the seals can get dried out and stuck. But there's kind of tips and tricks to kind of make that process a lot easier. So yeah, it's really not as bad as it looks. I know it looks really intense when you first see one, but it's really not too bad once you get your hands on it.
And that's a big part of what we're going to be doing when we're at L&M, right?
Yep. Yeah. So that's kind of the plan is we'll have a station set up where we'll have each one of our coolers. We'll have some of our guys there, and we'll actually have some of those tools, and we can kind of walk you through the steps of repairing one, how to take it apart. So it's not only going to be kind of a fun activity, so that everyone can stay busy, kind of learn a little bit, but it'll also teach them down the road in case they run into a Masabi, how to kind of handle it in an efficient way. So we're really excited about that.
That's cool. And Bobby, I'm really excited about this aspect of this conference as well. I think it's probably the first one in quite a while that we're actually giving our members a chance to actually take apart, a radiator and really get a hands-on learning experience.
In my experience in NARSA, since 2005 when I started actively in the industry, all of the most successful events have had this hands-on component. And to be the opportunity to be at the factory where they make these things, where they make these pieces of equipment, and have the guys there that know how to work on them better than anybody because they make them, I think is just a real unique opportunity. And I cannot stress enough that if you have any desire or you run into any kind of Masabi, this is going to be a really special event.
No, absolutely, absolutely. And to speak to a little bit about what we're going to see there, we're going to have a full-on day of knowledge and information sharing. And it's going to be really, really interesting. It's going to be very much heavy duty, severe duty focused. A lot of great speakers from L&M and beyond are going to be presenting. Really, really getting excited about this, and I think it's going to be a great opportunity to learn. Ryan, we have a couple of segments here that I wanted just to point out. We have Gary Dick, who's the production manager there. Could you speak to a little bit about, his acumen, what his experience is, and what he can bring to this conference?
Yeah, so Gary's pretty much done it all here. He started out as an engineer. He's now our production manager. I think he's been here over 15 years now, so he knows everything there is to know about our coolers. He's designed them. Now he works on streamlining the production process. But if there's an issue with the MESABI, if there's any kind of knowledge anybody wants, Gary knows it. So we're still kind of nailing down exactly what Gary's going to speak on, but he'll be available. And I've sort of sought out all of our best guys for the tours, for the plant tours, for speaking opportunities to make sure that we have the best of the best that really know industrial cooling inside and out. So I think everybody that is in the radiator field, the sort of the radiator sphere, will find something interesting, and of course they'll be open for questions. And I think that's really what we want, is for people to understand the product better and kind of build those relationships. I think that's our biggest goal. But yeah, I think Gary will be a very, very big part of that.
And Ryan, I imagine, there's a reason why you want to open your doors to cooling professionals. I imagine you want people that are qualified to work on your product no matter where it is. I mean, can you speak to that? That's what I imagine. If I'm wrong, please correct me.
No, I think you're exactly right. I think these relationships are really important, and I think me and David Sullender, one of my colleagues, we've sort of spearheaded this campaign to kind of get back in with NARSA, kind of build these relationships because, yeah, it is extremely important. We really depend on all you guys, all these rad shops. They've been such a big help to us over the years in supporting us, helping our customers with their coolers, and we want trained hands who know what they're doing. We really do, and I think those relationships are really, really important. So we want to just open our doors, sort of build those friendships, show these shops we care, show them that we're happy about all the work they've done over all these years, and really just make it to where it's just a stronger, you know, um, re relationship going forward. I think that's what's important.
When we first started talking about this event, Ryan, with Sully, that was really the idea, right? Is that we wanted to invite members up to Minnesota and get just a full service type day where they can learn, everything they need to know about the product and walk away feeling confident in their knowledge about how to potentially sell and service these items, but also to actually know how they work and get in there and really get the nuts and bolts type view of the product line.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I know, like for us, if we have a product fail somewhere, in the mainland, it's really nice to be able to say, oh, this is in North Carolina. I can call Brian Braswell at Rocky Mount, and I know they're going to do the right thing. And I think that's invaluable. And I really, tip my hat to L&M and Sully for recognizing the value in that, because I think as we're seeing that, we have OEMs like DRC, heat transfer, that recognize the value and saying, hey, these are professionals, they know what they're doing, and if we have a problem with our product, we can't always be there right away. We're not local. And I think that's an invaluable thing.
Absolutely.
Ryan, we were just talking about this a little bit, but when we're talking about members coming to the conference and attending, for the shop owners, technicians, other manufacturers, why should they make the time to come out and see what you have going on there?
Oh, well, I think there's a lot of different reasons. I guess from the radiator standpoint, it's a really unique opportunity to see sort of what we consider one of the premier products and something that served the heaviest of the duty industries now for over 65 years, and it's such a unique product that I think it's one of the first times we've ever opened up our shop like this, that we're going to allow people to come through and see sort of the whole process, including the R&D department. We put a lot of work and spend a lot of money on our R&D, whether it's the formulation of the grommets, stress testing the tubes, vibration tests, all these different things. So we have an on-site wind tunnel that we do a lot of testing with. So I think that'll be fascinating for people to sort of see, at the very top of the radiator industry from a fabrication standpoint. It's a really unique opportunity because we just don't do that very often. We can be a little bit, I would say, guarded of our technology would be one way to put it, and we've had to be over the years because we've faced a lot of kind of copycats and overseas competitors who sort of, So, but then aside from that too, I don't know how many people have been to northern Minnesota, you know, And I'm personally not from here. I'm from Georgia. I've been up here about 6, 7 years now. So I fell in love with the area, but it's a really, you know, beautiful area. I think the place everyone's going to stay down in Duluth is right on Lake Superior. It's a really cool spot. I don't know, other than coming to this conference, I'm not sure how many people would schedule a trip to northern Minnesota. So it gives everyone a reason to come up here and see something that's a little bit different. So, and Nate, to his credit, has put in a lot of work behind the scenes on this. He's worked me pretty hard to make sure everything everything is set up well, and that we have a nice agenda, that all of our bases are covered. So it's really important to me and Sully and all the people here at our team to make this fun for everyone, make it informative, and make it entertaining, to be honest, so that when everyone leaves northern Minnesota, they're thinking, wow, that was one of the best conferences ever. So we're putting a lot of work into it, and I think everybody should definitely invest in coming up here, because I think it'll be worth it.
No, I have to echo that sentiment because, you only get so many opportunities to go through a facility like this, and view the product in a way like this, and Bobby, this echoes back to our mission statement, right? One idea, one opportunity, one connection. All it takes is one time to go out of your comfort zone to learn a new skill, learn a new product to make a significant difference in your business.
Right. And I also think this is going to go, hopefully, success to me would be, our members go there and find these opportunities to do things. But I also think for L&M MESABI, they maybe identify a couple people they want to work with that they never heard of before that's in an area. So, and I think it could just really go both ways, and it's a truly unique opportunity. Like you said, always L&M in my career has been kind of a mysterious sort of thing, and to be able to go in and talk to the people that really know the product is just a really unique experience.
Yep. So on that note, Bobby, we're going to have registration open when you hear this podcast. It'll be open up, so feel free to get in there. We got some new different kind of promotions going on this year as well. So if you want to bring techs in just for one day, you can do that. Really want to get as many people up to Minnesota to learn and to see what's going on as possible.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait to see you guys over there. And yeah, I'm one of those people that's never been to northern Minnesota. I took some of my guys over to Chicago, and they saw Great Lakes for the first time, and they thought it was an ocean. So yeah, I can't wait to go out there and see all of what L&M is and what northern Minnesota has to offer.
Yeah. So Ryan, before we wrap up here, you're traveling all the time. You're going to shows. Where can people see you next?
Early March, we'll be at Con Expo in Vegas. So I'll be there for a week. So we'll have a booth at both places. So please stop by and say hi to me. I'd like to meet everyone. And yeah, we're super excited about the spring conference. And if anybody has any questions, they're welcome to, reach out to me as well.
All right, Ryan. Hey, thanks for your time today. I'll see you in Vegas for Con Expo, and be on the lookout for more intimidating emails from me to keep you in line and make sure this conference goes off without a hitch. All right.
I don't doubt it.
Thanks a lot, Ryan.
All right,
see
guys.
you in April. Take care.
All right. Thanks, Bobby. Thanks, Nate.
NARSA Idea's mission statement is one idea, one opportunity, and one connection. If you are not yet a member of NARSA Idea, we'd love to have you join us. Learn about membership by visiting our website, narsa-idea.org. Our website will also have the latest news and events, including info about our upcoming 2026 Spring Conference, Wednesday, April 29th, and Thursday, April 30th at L&M Radiator in Minnesota. Registration is now open.
And don't forget to follow us on social media at NARSA Now on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We're also active on LinkedIn and YouTube. Just search for NARSA.
And we want to thank our sponsors for today's episode, Johnson Manufacturing and 4R Fasteners. Be sure to check them out. They've both been great supporters of NARSA and great vendors of mine.
And don't forget to subscribe to Solder and Soot wherever you listen to podcasts so you never miss an episode. Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.